folks, MasakoX here. Before we continue the story of Cooler becoming canonically good, it would mean the world to me if you could take a look at my refreshed Patreon at patreon.com/MasakoX, where there are two simple tiers. It would be great if you could take a look at the pinned comment below or a link up here. Anyway, let's get on to the Cooler story. There was a brief time in his unstable beginnings when Cooler was able to beat Frieza whilst they were younger. While the power of his younger sibling famously obliterated the laboratory of Cold Planet 1, he was merely a rookie still, and that could have been used against him. In a way, overconfidence was imprinted into Frieza by their father from practically birth, something that Cooler considered a mistake. While they did not train per se, they were pitched against one another by King Cold himself almost daily. And initially, the current Emperor of the Universe was able to come out on top, simply by being methodical. Whilst Frieza attempted to be flashy and as destructive as possible, relentlessly so, he opted for more direct hits, nothing that would cost him too much energy. In Frieza's mind, his power was endless, and that might have been true against some standard minions that he used to test his ability. Cooler, though, was a much more challenging opponent. Obviously, the time of his domination in the fight ended after his younger sibling had grown accustomed to his freakish powers. It was this that had motivated him to develop his fifth form, something that Frieza would never have patience for, as he believed that his dominion was absolute. In a way, the mere existence of this golden transformation that he was showing off to us all now was a surprise for Cooler. Something in his paradigm must have shifted to force his brother to train. 2 humiliations at the hands of a Saiyan could do that to a person. But not only had Frieza truly developed, he had also done something he'd never done before: research. "I see that this new toy of yours was once pretty power-hungry, brother," Cooler noticed. "I spent the last few weeks of my training to eliminate that flaw. Very perceptive. I wanted to make sure that it will not fail me when I inevitably crush your skull." Frieza grinned maniacally. The Saiyans could tell that this was indeed personal. "How cute! Baby's first form." Cooler took a defensive stance. "Do you also happen to remember a lesson you should have learnt every time when I gave you a beating back then, when you were but a sprog? Don't get cocky." When he said that, the golden blur that was his brother charged upon him with a bloodthirsty roar. He was able to block the attack, but his entire system felt that. Yes, it was definitely formidable. But watching the likes of Son Goku and Beerus fight, Cooler understand one of the more interesting aspects of fighting: to make sure to scout your opponent first. And the Emperor could take a lot of hits, so he let his brother have his jump kicks and charges. He could take them, and clearly was able to see that Frieza expected a slightly easier fight. In a mix of frustration or just straight up anger, the golden light shined brighter and hit Cooler with power that sent him flying. That prompted him to quickly switch into his sixth form mid-flight. A barb at the end made a cut across Frieza's cheek. Angrily, the younger of the emperors started to flood his sibling with a flurry of red blasts that almost covered his entire body. The explosions created a lot of flashes and smoke, which covered Cooler completely. But he knew what his brother was hoping for: a reaction, and he wasn't going to give him one. While the Saiyans were getting quite impatient, let's be honest here, one exchange of looks made them aware of what he was trying to do. This alone brought them a little bit of a sense of respect toward the situation that they were witnessing. Sure enough, the crowd watching the duel was starting to grow, with even Beerus and Whis appearing to come and get a glimpse. Lord Beerus," Frieza uttered, pausing the fight for just a moment. "Don't let me interrupt your fight, boys. You are today's entertainment, so entertain me." The destroyer grinned, unnerving Frieza slightly, especially at the sight of a huge bowl of ice cream, who then went for even more deadly attacks. Good. attacks which Cooler Masa's body was basically soaking up, though they did start to leave a mark.
Attack! Attack! Damn you! What are you doing?
The younger of the siblings was starting to lose control.
That was supposed to be fun! All you're doing is making this annoying!
You still don't get it, do you? Cooler tilted his head. The massive barbed tails followed its lead.
Get what? That this is a stupid way to die! I will break you at some point. You are all bruised. Am I supposed to be impressed by you becoming a literal space concrete wall?
So that's all, huh? Cooler started to chuckle, which infuriated Frieza even more.
Stop laughing! Stop laughing! You!
He punched the current Emperor square in the face, but it barely left a dent. All that boasting, all that training, all that returning from the dead for that. So, you were calling me soft earlier, and so did all of you, in fact. Cooler was mostly talking to the troops, who were kind of shocked by what was going on here. Well, allow me to take this fight in a different direction. And as he said that, he powered back down to his fourth form.
Are you insane? Did those monkeys damage your brain? Are you really going to fight me in that?
Suddenly, the jewels on Cooler's body went dark purple, and the markings of his face turned white. No, I am going to show you what a divine beginner can do. And then he punched Frieza in the gut, and he bent over in half out of pain. Still, he managed to maintain his golden form. Then Cooler grabbed him by the tail and started flying very fast with him. This scene caused Beerus to feel rather mixed on this situation, bringing up some bad memories, but also amusing the deity.
What are you doing? Let me go.
Frieza's screams were then drowned in water when he got dunked, then the ground, and then the air, because his brother was simply just dragging him around through solid objects, liquids, and clouds like it were nothing, and he couldn't free himself. The grip was so firm that the younger of the brothers had difficulty even moving his tail to try and escape. Out of a sudden, he hit ground in the middle of all the present soldiers, with the body of their leader basically expanding a crater that was already there. Frieza was gasping for air as Cooler's leg moved toward his throat. Basically, you are no threat, brother, to me or anyone on this planet, Cooler smirked. And when Frieza moved his arm to try and unload an attack into Earth's crust, his brother caught the wrist with his powerful tail and twisted said wrist. This is why you keep losing. You cannot entertain the thought of someone being able to surpass your innate abilities by hard work and perseverance and personal pain. You think that the fact that you were born with that power makes the universe your toy, but it is not. Not under my watch. I would say grow up, but we both know that you are unable to change, brother. That everything you do is always about you. If you had done your research well, you would know how powerful I had become. And you know what else? Cooler turned his head toward Goku and Vegeta. These two are even stronger than I. So it was merely about who got to fight you first. Frieza's eyes were bulging in panic. He was trying to attack the Earth, but his every attempt was being blocked by Cooler, who looked him square in the eyes and said, "But I am not going to be your executioner today," he whispered. Frieza then gave him a weak smile. Yes, brother, I will just accept your dominance over the throne." The Emperor grabbed Frieza by the neck as if he was squirming, surprised by this gesture. "Vegeta!" Cooler shouted toward the prince. "Here's yours! Do with him as you wish!" And as such, the Emperor just tossed his brother toward the Saiyan.
Brother, no, you can't be serious. You would choose these monkeys over...
Our father tried to replace you with the Saiyan that ended your life. Do not be surprised. Cooler crossed his arms. "I would prefer to embarrass you in battle, Frieza, but this'll do." Vegeta walked slowly toward Frieza and punched him before he was able to start charging an attack.
Damn you, Cooler. Damn you all! I am Frieza! I will not be ended like this!
You were ended a long time ago, brother. This is only your swan song. Cooler turned his back on his protesting sibling, and Vegeta just evaporated him with a simple but powerful ki blast. Frieza was gone. He looked around at his loyalists, some beaten up by the Earthlings, some trying to hide, some trying to flee. We have the complete list of you cowards. Do not try to run. So what do you think now? Am I too soft for you? There was silence, with those who remained looking nervously at one another. Tagoma almost shrieked when Cooler appeared right next to him. I asked you a question, Tagoma. Am I too soft for you? The Emperor was clearly invading his personal space and causing him to tremble with fear. No, my Emperor, said, trying not to shake. You will return to the Empire, and you will be tasked with community service. From this moment on, you will be observed by my loyal subjects 24 hours a day. And who knows, if you do well, maybe one day I might decide to conveniently forget about what you just done. Is that clear? Yes, my lord. Now, where is Sorbet? The Emperor looked around. Silence was his answer. He took a ship and flew away, my lord, one of the troopers muttered. Do you have any idea where he went? Cooler asked calmly. None, your lordship. I swear. The diminutive armsman almost squeaked. He couldn't have gone too far, and we do have to find him. Well, pack yourselves to the ships and apologize to the citizens of this planet for making a little bit of a mess. Oh, we're sorry, the soldiers muttered. I can't hear you. Cooler wasn't shouting. He did raise his voice, though, but everyone could sense his irritation. We're sorry, the choir of voices screamed. Goku and the rest of the entourage then walked up to Cooler.
Well, seems like you got it under control. Shame I didn't get to fight Frieza, though. I was kind of looking forward to it.
You didn't miss much, Son Goku, the Emperor shrugged, glaring at the rebellious soldiers so they would pack their butts faster into their vessels. It worked. Well, seems like you have things under control, Vegeta said. His expression was hard to read. Indeed. I will try to press them a bit for Sorbet's vacation. I don't want to risk him causing any more problems. But now that he doesn't have his dear leader to follow, he's a sitting duck. The Emperor then nodded. Well then, good luck. Vegeta extended his arm, and after a split second of surprise, Cooler took it. He shook it even. Something was over, and it occurred to the Emperor that this was a good thing. He bowed slightly to Beerus and Whis. He walked over to one of the ships to oversee their return home. When he was walking away, the angel looked toward his destroyer. You know, Lord Beerus, I actually quite like his attitude. Maybe he would be the right candidate for you. The cat then grimaced, but slightly. I am not going anywhere yet, Whis, so do shut up about that line of talk. But then keep in mind. The angel chuckled. Of course. Now, Vegeta, we would like to eat something. We've had this long journey for such short entertainment. We demand a feast. We demand a feast. Oh yes, we demand a feast. Sorbet was shaking. Despite him wearing layers of protective clothing, the low temperatures were getting to him. Luckily, the place seemed untouched as he left it. The heavy armored guards let him in, albeit after a long while. This lone bunker in the sea of snow was the only structure for miles, so it was a long trek. And he was pretty sure that this was their idea of entertainment, to see him suffer. When he was finally let in, he took every single bit of heat that he could find, moving through almost complete darkness to do so to the only lit room. When he arrived there, he could only hear a monotone beeping of computers, as a massive figure sitting on a large chair was not even acknowledging his presence. But bad news, my lord. Cooler has triumphed. We've lost everything. The calm and collected voice of King Cold echoed in the room. I warned you that this might be the case. Frieza was an impatient fool, and this has only brought him to his doom. His massive fingers drummed on the table. What are we going to do, Your Highness? They will be looking for us. Trust me, they will. Sorbet was still slightly panicked, trying to keep his cool though, and the temperature of the room was not helping. Patience, Commander. This is hardly the first time I have been exiled from my own home. For now, our assets are limited. but I always have a backup plan up my sleeve. He raised his head with a slight smile. Sorbet was confused. There was a shadow of excitement that he hadn't seen on the king's face even before his death, before he was brought back by the Dragon Balls. "Is your ship far away?" King Cold asked politely.
Quite. Safety reasons. It was a very, very long walk in the snow. I think I managed to hide it well, Your Highness. I wasn't flying to not to attract attention.
Yeah, the panic was starting to come through. Yes, I don't care about that, Sorbet. We are going back there. I just need to pack a few essentials.
But my lord, they will be looking for you. The entire galaxy will be. Where will we go?
Cold smiled slightly more. Oh, that's good, because we're not going anywhere in this galaxy.
Oh? Are we going to the southern quadrant? Oh, well, I always wanted to see.
No, there is nothing for us in this universe. At least for now. King Cold patted him on the back with his massive hand.
I don't follow, Your Highness.
For now, the only thing you have to know is that we are going to the Rapper system. After that, I think you'll find you'll enjoy the journey, the king said, handing the commander a massive, heavy bag filled with various items. Sorbet, of course, took it dutifully, but still seemed unconvinced. Do not worry, Commander. We are going to visit some extended family. And with that, they once again walked over to the snowy wasteland. Before he left the place, King Cold relieved both of their guards of duty by breaking their necks, something they accepted with reverence. And just 30 minutes later, the bunker exploded, leaving a charred crater in its stead. All the secrets were gone with it. And that's where we're going to be leaving things for right now.